So we're doing a 2,500 point game of Warhammer Fantasy. I'm playing against Empire, and we're doing just battle line. And we just did a kind of like a tournament style of setting up terrain, kind of trying to do it equal sides. Colin, did you want to go over your list?
I decided to take a lot of foot guys, but I've got the Arch Lector, and I have a General of the Empire on level 4 Fire Wizard. I've got a block of 48 halberds with a detachment of 25, 3 Griffin Knights with halberds, a little bit of artillery with the cannon, the Hellblaster, and the Hellstorm battery, a couple of handguns just to round out core, 6 Knights, the steam tank, and then pistoliers on the flank.
All right, and I have a unit of Vargheists with a champion, another unit of Vargheists with a champion, unit of 5 Knights with a standard, 34 Skeletons with a level 1 Vampire and a level 1 Necromancer in the unit with full command, 40 Ghouls with Manfred General and a level 1 Vampire, Spirit Host, Terrorgeist, and a unit of 5 Knights with no command. And we rolled off for first turn, and Vampires are going first. So we just finished Vampire Counts turn 1. I moved up with everything. The Ghouls were actually flush with the Skeletons, and these guys all just kind of moved up 15 inches away from the Hellblaster, and these guys moved up. In my magic phase, I cast Doom and Darkness on his General's unit. And then I cast Van Hell's Dance on 2 dice to move move Manfred up so he can Curse of the Ears, and rolled boxcars, killing 23 ghouls and sucking Manfred into the warp and killing him. And by doing so, I did 3 wounds to my ghosts. I did a wound to my Terrorgeist. I killed off 3 knights, and in the remaining of my magic phase, I raised back 5 ghouls into this unit and 7 skeletons into this unit, and my Necromancer also total powered on 2 dice, and he is no longer a wizard. So things are looking up Vampire counts, and we're off to Empire turn 1. So we just finished Empire turn 1. His Chicken Knights moved up here to my flank. Everybody just kind of moved up like so. The cannon couldn't move, so he just turned and shot at my Vampire over here, which landed right on him, but he got the Lookout Sir, and a ghoul got crushed by the cannonball. The Pistoliers came over here, shot up my Vargheists, doing 1 wound. The Rifleman didn't do anything. The other cannon misfired, and his rocket battery killed 1 skeleton, landing it on my Necromancer, but then it fired off 8 inches in all directions, not landing on anybody. And the Hellblaster did 2 wounds to my Vargheists. In the magic phase, he got reroll to wound on everything within 6 inches of his Potmobile, and I prevented the ward save, and he cast Flame Cage on my skeleton unit. So we are off to Vampire Counts turn 2. So we just finished Vampire Counts turn 2. I charged in here with my ghosts and kind of moved everything up. In my magic phase, I tried to do 6 dice 18-inch bubble heal with my Vampire, and I rolled in 17, which then failed and allowed Colin to hold on to all of his dice, so I couldn't get anything else off. So nothing else kind of got casted. I charged my Vargheists, these Vargheists that were over here, I charged them into these Knights, and then charged these other Vargheists into the Hellblaster. Destroying the Hellblaster and then overrunning into the Master Engineer. And in this one, I lost combat by 1 because of the standard, because I missed 8 times. So I lost my Frenzy, and I took an extra wound. So we are off to Empire turn 2. So we just finished Empire turn 3. Pistoliers came over here. The Steam Tank and the Arcanum both charged in on my Vargheists. Steam Tank used 4 steam points to get in there. This unit charged my ghouls to get out of the way for the Arcanum, and they failed. These guys just kind of moved up In this fight over here, it was a drawn combat, but he had a stick because he made his 2+ save on 2 wounds, which was going to happen. So my ghost died, and magic phase, he got soul fire off from the Archlector, so all guys within 6 inches have flaming attacks. And we are off to... Oh, and his pistoliers rallied near at the table edge. Oh, handgunners. And my Vargeist killed 2 more knights, but then his pony did 1 wound to the Vargeist, and I lost combat by 1 again. So my champion has got 2 wounds left, and we are off to Vampire Count's turn 3. So we just finished Vampire Count's turn 3. In my turn, my knights tried to charge in at his Lector. Unfortunately, with the wheel and everything, it came down to being a 1/4 of an inch into the halberdiers before hitting the chariot itself. So that was a failed charge. My Terrorgeist moved over to the side to scream at the chicken knights, and my ghouls and stuff just moved back to try and get some more turns of raising before having to deal with all this Empire crap with no magic. In this combat over here, my Vargeist did 1 wound, and nothing was done in return. So it was a draw combat because of the stupid banner. And we are off to... Oh, I also raised back 2 knights in this unit and 6 ghouls into this unit. And we're off to Empire turn 3. So we just finished Empire turn 3. His Archlector and the Popemobile charged in at my knights, and his Halberdiers charged in at my Terrorgeist. His Arcanum charged in on the side of my Vargeist, and his Pistoliers came marching around behind my knights. In the magic phase, he got my Dispel Scroll out, and I dispelled everything else that he tried to cast. In the shooting phase, the Doom Battery blew up 7 skeletons, and a cannon killed a knight. And the Steam Tank did 2 wounds to itself with a misfire. In combat-wise, the Arcanum did 1 impact hit to do 1 wound. I got greedy and went after the Arcanum instead of just killing that last knight and failed. I lost by 3 and my dude poofed. The combat over on this side, he got 4 impact hits, killing 2 knights, and I allocated all my attacks onto his Warrior Priest, or his Archlector, and killing blowed him, and he failed his 4-up ward, and so he is now dead. It was a drawn combat, and in this combat over here, I killed 6. He did not do he did nothing, and so he passed his stubborn check. And so we're off to Vampire Count's turn 4. So we just finished Vampire Count's turn 4. My ghouls charged into the side of the Popemobile, minus Pope, and my knights came over here to hopefully just take it on the chin from the Steam Tank. And in the magic phase, my vampire over here did 12-inch bubble, healing up 2 knights and 2 skeletons, but also total powering and doing knocking off his charm shield, his opal ward save, just to prevent the 1 wound from the strength 6 magic feedback. Necromancer took a wound, and my vampire over here took a wound. And my Terrorgeist did 4 wounds with a scream at the Popemobile, the War Altar, and then stomped down some halberdiers. He failed his stubborn check and fled 2 inches. I caught him, and my vampire murdered down the War Altar, and we are off to Empire turn 4. So we just finished Empire turn 4. His big unit of halberdiers, his Steam Tank, and his Arcanum all charged in on my knights that were right there. He needed an 8 on his overrun to get into base contact with my skeletons, which he did, and his Stank and Arcanum just blew it up with impact hits before anything even got to happen. In the magic phase, he got a 24 to casting the Flame Cage on my ghouls, and so my ghouls are stuck there, unless I want to take a strength 4 hit on every model in there. The cannon killed 9 ghouls shooting down the flank, and the Doom Rocket killed 13. Oh, the rocket, what is it called? The Hailstorm battery killed 13 skeletons. And we are off to turn 5 vampire counts. So we just finished vampire counts turn 5. I couldn't move my ghouls because they're flame caged. So I just moved my knights over there and my Terrorgeist over here so he can yell at the halberdiers. And by doing so, he killed 7. And in that fight, my vampire issued a challenge. His unit champion accepted. I did 3 wounds to his unit champion. And my necromancer got stabbed down by halberdiers and 1 wound by his general. And I did 3 wounds in return to him, and he got his 3 light armor saves, which is just awesome. I ended up losing by 8, and I only had 8 skeletons left in that unit. So now it's just my vampire in there. And in my turn, this guy also total powered when he raised up 4 ghouls. And he lost his wizard level, so he no longer knows any spells from the vampire lore. And we are off to Empire turn 5.
Where's your anger stick?
So we just finished Empire turn 5. In this combat, I issued a challenge. He accepted with his general. I did 3 wounds. He made all 3 of his 3-up armor saves. 2 of them were actually 3s. And then I just died to combat res. And then the pistoliers overran. In the shooting, the rocket battery killed off 8 ghouls, and the cannon did 4 wounds to the Terrorgeist. And now that my vampire doesn't know any spells from the lore of vampires, I now have to start crumbling. So we are off to vampires turn 6. Just finished vampire counts turn 6. It was super fast. All I did was not do anything with them because they have the flame cage on them. Oh, that was another thing I failed to mention. On his turn, he rolled like 6 dice on flame cage, total powered it, sucked his dude up into the warp, and he died. So he doesn't have a level 4 anymore, but, whoopity-doo. My Terrorgeist died due to crumble, and everything else was fine. My knights couldn't make that charge to the cannon, so they just kind of moved out of the way so that I can't just get rocketed down or something. And we are off to Empire's last turn. So we just finished Empire turn 6. His steam tank he generated too much steam, and it emergency vented, doing nothing except for losing all the steam points he generated. His pistoliers came over here, shot down 3 ghouls so that I couldn't do any more lookout sirs. Then the cannon went through, killing the vampire, doing 4 wounds to him, and killing all ghouls except for 1. So that's 400 points sitting right there. And then the rocket battery missed wide on the knights. And that is game, I believe. Empire wins. And it's really hard to play vampires with no level 4 vet wizards. And yeah, it's a good game.